I want to tell you about the day I almost quit. Not because things were going badly, but because nothing was happening. No sales, no commissions, no real sign that any of it was working. Just me putting content out into what felt like a very empty internet, wondering if I'd made a mistake. I was maybe 6 weeks in. I'd built the basics. I'd posted consistently. I'd done everything I was supposed to do, and the results were nothing you'd write home about. That's the part nobody talks about in these videos. The gap between starting and seeing. That gap is where most people quit. And I almost did too. Here's what that actually looked like for me. It was a Tuesday. I sat down to work on a piece of content and I just didn't. I stared at the screen for about 20 minutes, made another coffee, came back, stared some more. I wasn't burned out. I wasn't overwhelmed. I was just tired of not knowing if it was working. Tired of the uncertainty. Tired of putting in real time and effort with nothing concrete to show for it. I think if you've tried to build anything online, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That Tuesday feeling, where the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels too wide to cross. I didn't quit that Tuesday, but I came close. About 2 weeks after that Tuesday, I got a notification, a commission, my first one. I'm not going to tell you the amount because that's not the point of this video. What I will tell you is that it wasn't life-changing money. It wasn't even a lot of money, but it was real. It was proof. It was the internet saying back to me, yes, this works. And something shifted, not in the business. The business hadn't changed at all from that Tuesday, 2 weeks earlier. Same content, same strategy, same community, same everything. What shifted was my understanding of how this actually works. Because here's what I realized in that moment. The work I did 6 weeks ago was just starting to pay off. The content I made when nobody was watching was finding people. Slowly, quietly, without me knowing. The gap isn't empty. It just looks empty from the inside. So what did getting that first commission actually teach me? A few things I want to share, honestly. Number one, the timeline is longer than you think, and that's okay. Everything I'd read said to give it 90 days before drawing any conclusions. I thought I understood that. I didn't. Not really. Not until I was sitting in week 6 feeling like nothing was working. The 90-day advice isn't just a number. It's an acknowledgement that this business model runs on trust and content, and both of those take time to build. You can't rush them. You can only keep going. Number two, the work you do before you see results is the most important work. This one is counterintuitive. When nothing is happening, it's tempting to change everything. New strategy, new niche, new approach. I almost did that too. But the first commission came from content I'd made weeks earlier, doing exactly what I'd been taught. If I'd changed course out of impatience, I would have thrown away the foundation right before it started to pay off. Number three, one commission changes everything psychologically. Before the first one, you're operating on faith. After the first one, you're operating on evidence. That's a completely different mental state to work from. The doubt doesn't disappear, but it gets quieter. And a quieter doubt means you can actually focus on the work instead of constantly second-guessing whether the work is worth doing. Here's the thing about quitting too soon that I think about a lot. Most people who quit do it right before something was about to happen, not because the model doesn't work, not because they weren't capable, but because the gap between effort and result is invisible, and invisible progress feels like no progress. I was 2 weeks away from my first commission when I had that Tuesday. 2 weeks. If I'd quit that day, I would have walked away from something that was already working. I just couldn't see it yet. That's not a comfortable thought, because it means that almost every person who has quit something that could have worked quit right on the edge of it working, and they'll never know. I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad if you've quit something before. I've quit plenty of things in my life. Some of them deserve to be quit, but this one, this model, this community, this approach, it deserved more time than my impatience wanted to give it. Since that first commission, I've changed how I think about the early stage of building online. Instead of measuring results in sales and commissions, especially in the first 90 days, I measure in inputs. Did I show up today? Did I post? Did I engage with the community? Did I learn something? Did I make one piece of content? If the answer to those is yes, it was a good day. Full stop. The commissions are a lagging indicator. They show up later as a result of the inputs. Measuring them daily in the early stage is like weighing yourself every hour when you're trying to get healthier. The number won't tell you anything useful that fast. This shift in how I measure progress made the work sustainable, and sustainable beats intense every time when you're building something for the long term. If you're in the gap right now, if you're somewhere between starting and seeing, I want you to hear this directly. What you're feeling is normal. The uncertainty is normal. The Tuesday feeling is normal. It doesn't mean it's not working. It means you're in the part that most people don't get through. Get through it. Your first commission is coming. It might be 2 weeks away. It might be a month. But the work you're doing right now is building toward it, whether you can see it or not. The link below is where I started. The same free blueprint that got me to that first commission. If you're ready to start the clock on your own 90 days, that's where I'd begin. I'm Carl from small town Ontario, and I almost quit 2 weeks before it started working. Don't make that mistake. See you next week.